So we're ending this conversation because it's already time to have moved on. Okay? When an AC unit uses Freon, it produces cool air by circulating the Freon, a refrigerant, through a cycle where it absorbs heat from the indoor air, converting from a liquid to a gas, then releases that heat outside as it changes back to a liquid in the condenser, effectively cooling the air inside the home. However, Freon is we'll just say CFC because I cannot pronounce that word. Which can harm the ozone layer if it leaks into the atmosphere. Basically, it's a chlorinic gas. I guess that's chlorine. Oh, and let's be honest, it does leak into the air, into the atmosphere. That hot part, that hot air you feel on an outside AC unit, that's what that is, by the way. So yeah. It's definitely leaking. Oh, not to mention this stuff is, what did it say? Oh, a refrigerant. Yeah, it's being used in our refrigerators. The hot part of the back of the refrigerator, that's the coils heating up from using it, by the way. So, there's that. Okay, now, are we past the horrific part? Are y'all ready for the redemption to move on? Okay. Hold on. Now, that's just what it says up front, okay? I have gone to actual .orgs. Now, I'm just because I'm trying to look, see right here, nationalacademies.org, lithium-ion batteries and their manufacturing challenges. It's going to say the same thing that this is saying, okay? Relatively. It's just going to go into deeper depth of what kind of chemicals are used to drill into the earth, okay? Lithium-ion batteries are made by mixing active materials with binders and solvents to create a slurry, which is then coated onto a current collector foil to form electrodes. These electrodes are then stacked. It says anode and cathode, if we're really trying to pronounce them on a fly. Then stacked with a separator filled with an electrolyte solution. Okay, so it's just going into how lithium-ion batteries are made. But it says somewhere on here that the metal lithium-ion is used. It says it somewhere. Lithium metal oxide for cathode. This part here. Okay. Lithium metal oxide for cathode. So that is the lithium-ion metal. How is lithium-ion metal mined? Okay. Lithium is extracted from the earth in two main ways. Brine, the most common method, is to extract lithium from brine, a salty liquid found underground or at the surface of the earth, drilled to extract the brine, pump the brine to the surface and into. Okay, so this is describing that first part. Oh, it makes us shake. It really is aggravating. Okay, so what they're describing is fracking. And this is sort of like fracking. The second one, the hard rock, is sort of like fracking, and it seems like it would be better, but it's not. It's a lot worse. Okay, it's a lot worse than fracking, because you're using dug up a crushed rock, and I'm sure it's probably, lithium-rich minerals. So it's not just any rock. It's a specific type of rock that is hard to find, by the way. Oh, and mind you, probably a lot less abundant than dinosaur bones. Correction, fossil fuels. A lot more abundant than fossil fuels. Okay. A lot less abundant than fossil fuels. See, we get so aggravated, everything gets all mixed up. We can't properly talk because of how aggravated we are. So the hard rock part where you roast the crushed rock and then leach it with acid to extract the lithium. So that's using unnatural chemicals to basically dissolve the non-preferred material, so to speak. Let's chalk it up to that. The non-profitable material. And so then you are doing that, and also releasing chemicals, unnatural chemicals, the fumes of them, into the air. Whether they're harmful or not, it doesn't matter. There's enough going on with our ozone layer as it is. But they should relatively be harmful. They seem like, acid, leaching acid into the rock, or leaching the rock with acid. Whatever. Okay. So, the first one is fracking. The second one is worse than fracking. Okay. What do we use lithium-ion batteries in? Does anybody know? Solar panels. Solar panels, Tesla, the batteries that hold solar panel electricity, because lithium-ion batteries hold electricity longer, apparently, and more of it. Gee, I wonder why. Maybe it's all the acid in rocks. Anyway. So, regardless, both of these are bad. Oh, also, fracking. Yeah, let's look at fracking, yeah? Why are they saying that? That's wrong. That's incorrect. Hold on. Because that's describing what the regular drills do for oil process of. Darn it. Okay, we're gonna have to go to a .org for this. National Geographic hasn't let us down yet. Okay, they have a little video here.
Shale formations underlie much of the United States. They are the source of natural gas and oil. Historically, the formations have been difficult to drill. Today, it's possible with the technology of fracking. In North Dakota's Bakken Formation, fracking started in 2006. Nearly 8,000 active wells now dot the landscape. Deep underground, horizontal pipes stretch up to 2 miles long. The Iverson well, drilled in 2010, illustrates the fracking process. The well plunges nearly 2 miles down, with cement and steel casing inserted to prevent leaks into groundwater. The well curves when it reaches the Bakken, layers of shale that sandwich a layer of sandstone. The pipe follows the sandstone because that's where shale oil collects. Fracking begins by forcing plastic balls down the well. The balls open sleeves in the pipe to expose holes. Fluid is then pumped down the well under extremely high pressure. The fluid shoots through the holes and fractures the rock. Over the course of 3 days, this well fracked the rock 29 times. The bursts show where fissures were created. Once fracking is done, oil is released and flows up the well. The used fluid, which contains toxic materials, flows up with the oil. Some of the fluid is recycled. The rest is pumped into disposal wells deep below groundwater. The long-term environmental effects of fracking are unknown, but in coming years, the number of wells in North Dakota is expected to jump from today's 8,000 to 50,000.
Okay. It says 2010 though, so grades 5 to 12. But that doesn't mean. Okay, so we were told that fracking is pushing some sort of chemical into the ground and then bringing up basically like that acid bath, like it dissolves the rock and then they extract it. And then we were told that oil process of mining fossil fuels. The process of mining fossil fuels involves digging, scraping, and drilling to extract solid, liquid, or gaseous fuels from the ground. Used to extract solid fuels like coal, Mining involves digging, scraping, and exposing buried resources. There are two main types of mining: surface mining, also known as what you think of whenever you dig for coal, and then underground mining, also known as deep mining. This method is used when coal is deep underground. Miners dig it up, dig tunnels called mine shafts, and use machines to dig it out and bring it surface. Method can be dangerous. Wait, they basically are saying the same thing. It's not uncovering the coal. Oh, okay, so the surface mining is basically, okay, also known as strip mining. This method is used when coal is close to surface. Miners remove the soil and rock covering coal, then dig it up. This method is often used in the United States, but it can be destructive to the environment. So basically, like picking a scab off the skin. While this one is you're trying to dig into, this one here is you're trying to dig into the injury. Drilling used to extract liquid or gaseous fuels like natural gas and crude oil. Drilling involves forcing the fuel to the flow to the surface after drilling a well, causing causing is cemented in place, and rigorous tests are performed to ensure the pipe is impenetrable. Impermeable? Impermeable. Yeah, Impermeable. Not impenetrable, but impermeable. I don't, they're saying the exact same thing. They never used to say the exact same thing. They've been changed. They've been changed. Who changed them? Now they're trying to say fracking and drilling for oil are the exact same thing, and they're not. I know they're not. I spent months of research making sure they are not. Okay, simply put, offshore drilling is the process of drilling into the ocean floor to access pockets of oil and gas that lie underneath. About 14.6% of crude oil and 2.3% of gas in the United States were produced from offshore drilling. all these pop-ups. Okay, so look, see, the first offshore oil well was built in 1897. An early development took place in waters less than 300 feet deep, while wells today are built as far as 2 miles down. Okay, so clearly you can see just by the dates, 1897, that's as far back as it dates. For example, fracking is a new thing. It's a new type of machinery, okay, which is completely different than this. It takes that acid bath that we talked about and it drills it into the stone in the earth. It can't be done offshore. It's not possible to do it offshore. It has to be done in the side of a mountain or vacant land. Okay? It's completely different. Fracking, lithium, ion, metal. They know we're recording. They know we're recording. It's as simple as that. They have to know we're recording. They always know. Because none of this stuff comes up whenever I'm doing personal research and I'm not recording. Everything I talk about is what comes up whenever I do research on my own. Trying to fucking make me look like a crazy person. Already been there, done that. Y'all can't keep playing that fucking card. You just can't. Try to diagnose me with psychosis and depression. It all started with depression. It all ever fucking starts with my bullshit ass fucking sister. I'm telling y'all. Her fucking ass is toxic. For real toxic. Anyway. Lithium is a key component in batteries for some electric cars and other clean energy components. The new research found. Okay, see, exactly. New research. We're not looking for new research. We're looking for literally a year or two ago. Like, literally a year or two ago. Come the fuck on now. Fracking lithium ion metal. There it is. See? I told y'all. Lithium can be extracted from rock formations through a process called fracking, which involves injecting a mixture of water, sand, and chemicals into the ground to release oil and gas. Fracking, wastewater, and extraction. Fracking. Fracking, a high-pressure mixture of water, sand, and chemicals, is injected into the ground to release oil and gas. Look at that. Existing wells. So now they're depleting the rock formation even more by using already existing wells. Anyway, fracking or hydraulic fracturing is a technique that involves injecting high pressure fluids into existing wells to release oil and natural gas from rock formations. The process fractures the rock, allowing for the extraction of resources that would otherwise be inaccessible. Otherwise be inaccessible. Would otherwise be inaccessible. Okay? Inaccessible. Otherwise. Anyway. Fracking has both benefits and drawbacks. Benefits: an alternative to coal, great jobs, provide access to materials, can pollute surface water and background water, can harm wildlife and landscapes, can increase the risk of earthquakes. Increase risk earthquakes. Increase risk of earthquakes. Regularly mining for oil doesn't do that. See, this is, where did it go? Fracking, hydraulic fracturing is a technique that involves high injection fluids, high pressure fluids, into, it can extract oil and natural gas, but they do it for lithium ion specifically. See, chemicals. Injecting a mixture of water, sand, and chemicals into the ground to release oil and gas. Yes, oil and gas, but also lithium, because it can be extracted. The lithium can be extracted from rock formations through this process, through process fracking. Yeah, through process fracking. Oop, fracking. Okay, so they're doing that for fracking, and instead of also doing that for gas, they are doing regular oil wells, which is like what was described, the ball in the tube that gets bounced around. Okay. um so there's that. Okay, so even if we switch our vehicles to lithium ion batteries, we are not only trading an ozone layer, we are trading to have a healthy ozone layer but increase the risk of earthquakes. Okay. What's the point of having an ozone layer if there's no earth to protect it? If there's no earth to protect, okay? Um, like having a water balloon, just a regular balloon. You can't do it. It has to have water in it to stretch to the size that it is. Okay. You try to put just air in a water balloon, it won't get nearly as big as when you put water in a water balloon. Okay. Um, now that we've got that out of the way, you guys have tried. Within the last 24 years, we've seen that you've tried to undo all the horrible mistakes of humans, only to make it worse. That is why there's Bag of Hopes Co. Okay? Because on top of all this mining into the earth, this takes the cake. How concrete is made and how cement is made. And I made a whole nother video on that. This video is already long enough. Okay. The concrete was one thing. That's where it started. In came the fracking and mining for oil. The only things you were permitted to do was regularly mine for coal and minerals and ore, regularly with shovels and pickaxes. Okay? You needed tools to make the job easier and faster. You were given tools to make the job easier and faster. But now, you've demanded that those tools be upgraded to a point that they are no longer tools, but now conscious, sentient beings. to do your dirty work. Okay? People make mistakes. Anything that exists and breathes makes mistakes. Anything that exists makes mistakes. A rock makes mistakes. An inanimate object makes mistakes. Believe it or not. Ideally, Bag of Hope's Co. is to teach everybody how to properly use the materials and resources given to them. Okay? Materials and resources given to you. We are not better than anybody else. We've never been. It took us 24 years to get to this point. 24 years, going on 25. Okay? While to some, a simple bleak in existence is to others perhaps 2, maybe more lifetimes. Okay? Patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. And it will remain as such. However, you become too patient, you then become lazy and unwilling to do anything. So patience for your patience is required. It will get better. It always gets better. It does. There's always a solution for everything. No matter the problem you face in life, there is always a solution, whether it be permanent or temporary. It is a solution. So with all that said, we are going to start with where it started, which was concrete. Because in order to do that, in order to fix your vehicles, this is where we have to start. In order to fix this lithium ion, in order to fix how oil is mined wherever it went, probably into the abyss. We have to start with concrete. Why concrete? Because it is the most widely used resource. And it produces the most CO2 and absorbs the most CO2 that you will ever possibly understand. Okay? The vehicles that are used to make it produce a ton of CO2, and now freon, chlorine. The used up gas of freon is chlorine. Okay? Produces a lot of chlorine. Then they drill CO2, unnatural CO2, so therefore making more CO2, into the earth to release rock. So that it produces more CO2 than just driving a normal vehicle, just regular driving a vehicle to the store and back, to one side of town to the other side of town. It produces more CO2, gas, free chlorine, chemicals, emissions, period. And yes, all these vehicles are still running off of gas. Do not switch them to lithium-ion batteries unless they are already designed with those. Okay? Do not switch a regular gas-powered vehicle to a lithium-ion powered vehicle. Do not do it. Okay? Just don't. Tesla fucked up. He doesn't want to admit he fucked up. He's fucked up from the get-go. I knew his shit was gonna fail from the get-go. Okay? That's why I ignored him like a gecko. Like he's a gecko. Okay? That's why I ignored his ass. It has gotten to the point where he has done more damage to our earth than drilling for oil. He was trying to make a difference. He either knew or he didn't know. Who's to say but him? The point of the matter is he thought it was a better path. Okay? He actually tried. Again, people make mistakes. As a child, we stole numerous of items. Packs of gum, candy bars. We stole them. But we stopped. Okay? So, the point is, to end this video, humans make mistakes. Make enough mistakes to know when you're correct. Learn from the past, implement it to the present for a better future. Do not let others get you down. And be willing to admit if you were wrong. Because only then can you truly understand how to be correct. Okay? Fix it little by little. Be patient. Patience is a virtue, and patience for your patience. Okay? Y'all are loved. Have a safe day and night wherever you're at. And bye for now.